We have picked up a lot of cool records this year. I say we highlight some of the best ones we found.
Let's do it.
I've started to change the way I collect a little bit. And before it was like, as long as I have the reissue, I'm good to go. It sounds great. I'm happy to have it in my collection. Now, more recently, I've been on the hunt for all of the first pressings of the albums that I love.
Ooh, toughie.
This is the Wonder Years, The Upside's first pressing. This album kind of like got me through a tough spot in my life. It had come out right after I had moved to Austin, Texas. And I really wasn't sure where I was going in life, and it was nice to hear someone else that didn't know what they were doing.
Right.
Look at me, son. It's not your fault. I know.
If I'm being honest with you, I prefer this artwork over what they eventually put on the second pressing and all the pressings after. As much as Hank the Pigeon, which is like their mascot, is super cool, I just prefer this record. Do you know who this is?
I don't.
Me either. So yeah, this was a good find at Hunky Dory. It was actually sitting on their wall for a couple weeks, and I was like, no, I'm not going to drop the money. No, I'm not going to drop the money. And finally, it was a Saturday, and Saturday they have 10% off their Treasure Trove, which is basically any record over $40, you get 10% off. This is one of the first records I picked up this year, and it is so clean, and I'm so happy to add it to my collection.
So my favorite thing is following friends on Instagram that like the same music as I do, and then seeing them post new music that I've never heard of. And so I go and like check that out. And this was one of the bands that was like that for me. Piano Becomes the Teeth. This is their album, The Lack Long After. I saw this album cover everywhere before I ever knew what it was.
Yeah.
And so then I remember finally just being like, I'm gonna listen to it, and holy cow, I love this band.
I have two cool stories about this band.
Okay.
Way back in the day, I used to write for a website called modernvinyl.com, and I had so much fun. Labels would send me stacks of records to review, and Top Shelf Records sent me like 10 records, and this was included in it. I no longer have it in my collection, but I remember listening to it and giving it a really positive review when it first came out.
Perfect. Yeah, it is a great album. I love it so much.
And number two, I actually photographed them a long time ago when they opened up for Tiger's Jaw.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Nice.
Since you've met me, I have not shut up about wanting a repress of this record.
Yep. I'm so glad you finally got it because it's so good.
This wasn't found used because a used copy goes for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. This is the first American pressing of Sister Nancy's 1-2. Any ska band you listen to was somehow influenced by this woman.
I love how much of a badass she is.
Yeah.
She is an icon.
I actually didn't know this was released for Record Store Day, so I picked up a few things at Sorry State Records and completely missed this one. Found out that it was repressed, and I was like, oh no, I'm never gonna find this. And I think I got it from Plaid Room Records online in Ohio.
Awesome.
They had like 2 copies left after Record Store Day, so
Wow.
I picked it up real quick.
That's awesome.
Nothing crazy. It's not like an original pressing, which I would love to own. I don't, and that's fine.
Yeah. But holy crap, it's in your collection now.
One day I'll own a first pressing.
So this next one of mine, I was introduced to it from a friend that I worked with in Arizona. This is Car Seat Headrest, Twin Fantasy. This album is so good that it earned its own Instagram post on my feed. I was just waiting to see it out in the wild. So then when I did, I remember gasping when I saw it in the bin. So I was like, gotta get it.
Mine.
This was the first and only album I've heard by Car Seat Headrest. You introduced me to this record, and it is a very solid album.
Yeah.
And I think this was another find at Sorry State. In our opinion, they probably have the best used section.
Agreed.
Next to Poorhouse Records.
Yeah, I agree.
I missed out on this when it first dropped from SRC Vinyl. I don't think they exist anymore, but they did some really good audiophile pressings back in the day. This is Under Oath, The Changing of Times. Now, this is the album before They're Only Chasing Safety, with a different singer and all that good stuff. I missed out on this one specifically, so I ended up picking it up online, I think, from a record store in Wilmington. I can't remember which one. They had it posted on Instagram that they got it in. I picked it up real quick. Believe it or not, this is the album that introduced me to Under Oath. They're Only Chasing Safety is iconic, but it actually had to grow on me when I was a teenager. But this one just sat with me. I was really skeptical when I heard they were changing singers.
Yeah.
It ended up being one of the best decisions the band ever made.
Yeah, look at them.
The biggest controversy for this record when it first came out was like the strip on the top of it. It just like kind of ruined the artwork and people were pissed about it. You could put it on the back somewhere.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't really mind it. I think it shows it's a little different than the rest of them.
Yeah.
So I came across this next one at Broken Anchor when we went there one time and absolutely had to pick it up because I couldn't believe that I saw his name out in the wild. This is Charles Manson, Trees.
I think we were still on a high of you getting me that Charles Manson record for Christmas.
Yeah.
And we saw this and we're like, oh yeah.
We have to get it. And wasn't this stuff like recorded after he was arrested and stuff like that? Like this was like a later stuff of his, and the one I got for you was more of his like early stuff when he was younger. So I thought that was really cool.
Broken Anchor always surprises us with some cool used stuff. There's always diamonds in the rough at that store.
Yes, for sure.
This was such a good find. It doesn't sound all that great because the recordings aren't that great. It really is like a crazy record to listen to. He did what he did, and his music reflects how, not normal he was.
Well, technically, he didn't kill anybody.
This is actually the most recent banger I've picked up, and I didn't know that I needed it. I mean, to be fair, you don't really need any records. This is Machiavelli, aka Tupac, the Don Illuminati. It is a 1996 original UK pressing.
Ooh.
And it is flawless, considering the fact that most hip-hop records that you find that are OG really are just roached. I remember when I first heard this album, I was in my friend's bedroom who lived up the street at the time, and his older brother was playing this, and it kind of changed the way I listened to music a little bit. I was very, very young, but it was amazing, and of course, he was like rapping about stuff that my little brain couldn't comprehend, but I still loved it. This is another pickup like 2 weeks ago from Sorry State. They had it on their Holy Moly wall. I looked it up on Discogs, and frankly, it was listed at a very good price considering the condition. I grabbed it like as we were checking out. I was like, let me see that, took a look at it, and bought it.
So this next one makes me a little bit sad.
Why is that?
Because sometimes love ends for people.
Sure.
And sometimes, I guess, that's what's best for them. And I guess I have to understand. So this is the lovely album from my favorite duo, Perma. This is their album, Fight Fair. It is a really cool half green, half blue version. I think it's beautiful and perfect. And anytime I see it available anywhere, I want to pick it up just to support them. I love how the music that they make separately just sounds so different. And then whenever they come together, that also sounds completely different. But then you can tell, like, they keep their styles in there.
I like Two of a Crime better, but this is still a great record.
Yeah, Two of a Crime is definitely like the OG for me of their stuff, but yeah, this is sweet too. I love it.
So I set one collecting goal for myself this year, and it was to finish my collection of Mo-Fi pressings of my favorite Weezer albums. I already had the Blue album. I've had it since it dropped, but I missed out on the other ones. So this is the Green album and Pinkerton. You can argue that Pinkerton is their best album. I wholeheartedly disagree. It is the Blue album. After the Green album, I sort of fell off, really stopped listening. These records sound wonderful. I'm super happy to add them to my collection. I found them both separately. I actually forget at what stores, which is rare for me.
That is true.
But I did grab them. Didn't buy them online or anything like that. Really wanted to find them out in the wild. So it was really awesome to find these.
I saw them once live for free on LSU campus. It was supposed to be an outdoor show, and it started to rain, so they moved it to an indoor place. So it was technically like a free concert in a venue. My friend got a black eye from getting kicked in the head by a crowd surfer.
At a Weezer show?
At a Weezer show.
That's wild. Are you into Weezer? Let us know down in the comments what your favorite Weezer album is.
So this next one, I truly could not believe that I found it. And it was like a little light went off as soon as I flipped through it. It was at Sorry State in their used new arrival bins. This is LaRue, their self-titled album. It has like the hits on it, the End for the Kill, the Bulletproof song that everybody knows.
Yep.
This album is a banger from front to back.
It really is.
It is so good, and it's such a good pressing too. I remember it just sounding like perfect.
I agree.
Yeah. So this was one of my closest to favorite finds this year.
The cover is a little, worse for the wear, but the record is in pristine condition. So if we ever find a used copy floating around again out in the wild, we'll probably do an upgrade.
Maybe.
I kind of sandwiched all the good ones in between the epic ones, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, a little epic vinyl sandwich.
Yeah. I'm almost positive this was the first and only pressing of this record. And we're talking about great duos and super groups. This is Pink and Dallas Green of City and Color. And when they come together, they form You Plus Me. This is the album Rose Ave. Suspend whatever beliefs you have on Pink and her music. Just give this album a shot. It is so beautiful and heartbreaking, and just every emotion you run through when you listen to this album.
Yeah.
It is great. I am so lucky to find it, just like I'm so lucky that I found you.
Eat glass.
This was probably one of the first albums that I obsessed over when I was a kid. I loved every song from start to finish on this album in the 90s. This is Fuel, Something Like Human. If you say that you don't know at least one song word for word on this album, you'd be lying.
I'm pretty sure I do.
Oh, I know you do. And you'd be like, oh, I didn't know that was that band that played that song, or I didn't know it was that band that played that song. That's how Fuel is.
It's the Steve Miller Band effect. Everybody knows at least one Steve Miller
Right.
Band song. They just don't know they know it.
Yeah, and that's how Fuel is for like the 90s kids. Like, another one I gasped whenever, like, this year was such a good year for finding the nostalgic, like, the ones that you wanted so bad and you didn't know you wanted so bad, that were just like, that popped out at you. And this was definitely my favorite pickup of the year. My used pickup.
That's a bold statement.
It's my favorite used pickup of the year.
Wow. That is a short list of our favorite records that we picked up this year.
Right.
And as always, we have some honorable mentions. Let's take a look at those. Overall, a good year for record hunting.
Yeah, I agree. And that's not even including all like the bangers of albums that came out this year.
Which we'll probably be doing a video on.
Yes.
So let's look out for that. For Vinyl Reckoning, my name is Matt.
I'm Stacey.
Y'all be easy. Have a good night.
Bye.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're like, he did what he did. I'm like, well, he didn't do anything. Let the music mold the minds.
Those are my stories.
I like your stories. I like his little nipples.
Introduce
This
it one
is LaRue. This.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
This
And
is.
I